Bakit ba mayroong empty chairs dito? Well, some people come forward. Yung nasa dulo, yung nasa dulo, akyat dito sa ay, walang makagat dito sa front. Walang kakagat sa inyo. Come on. Yan. May tatlong chairs dito. Yan, let's give them a hand. May isa pa. May isa pa dito.
Ako sa Pilihan, pag-transfer po dito.
Very good, thank you.
Kayo po dyan. Para dyan na lang yung late runners dyan sa
So welcome everybody. I know some of you woke up very early like Julia to get your fun. No? You should feel a little sleepy. There's coffee. You can go and get coffee in the corridor where you eat, no? Do they know where that is? I think coffee is available at any time. No? If you want to drink coffee. But you will have merienda anyway later. So you can take away till then. So we're here, we're really very, very, very blessed to be the recipient of a gracious donor in the person of two beautiful Italian ladies.
Yes.
Wow. What else can you ask for? Yeah. We're so blessed. And they're doing this pro bono at no cost to us. Let's try to learn as much as we can from them. Actually, they will assist us in self-care. You know, we assist and help others, right? But that's not the miracle. The miracle is, are we happy doing our work? So this self-care that they are going to teach us will dwell on so many aspects, like making us more confident, helping us think through our priorities, and then helping us with communication and many other things. No? We're especially weak in communication. I think that's one of our weakest points, communication. Like you get an email and then you don't follow instructions. Like the email was very clear, you should put your nameplate. But many of you did not do that. So something went wrong with our communication. Right? Okay. So after this, we expect to come out a different person. Feeling more confident, empowered, and knowing better what do we really want to do with our lives. Very often we care for others but we forget ourselves. But we cannot give if we don't have it. Tama?
Yes.
So let's learn as much as we can. Now we'd like to give Miss Sylvia Preda. I get confused sometimes I say Sylvia Mel. Sylvia Preda and Federica Mele. Is it Mele or Mel?
Yes, correct.
Mele, yes. Let's give them both a big hand. I'll turn over the mic to you.
Yes.
Magic.
We say our hi together. Hi. We go up there so everyone can see us. Again. So hi everyone, how are you today? Fine. So before introducing ourselves, take your bags, put them on the floor, feel relaxed. You have to be really comfortable on your chairs. You have to feel the flow in your body, and you have to be able able to write and smile and eventually do some question and interact without keeping your bag in your arms. Anyway, I am Federica
And Silvia.
We are both Italian, but we live in Dubai. I'm sure that a lot of you know Dubai. We are the founders of Hummingbird Coaching and Consulting. It's a company that we founded almost 3 years ago, me and Silvia. And we work with individuals in order to teach them how to feel better with themselves. We are very, very happy to be here, and for us it will be a great experience because I'm sure we will, me and Silvia, learn a lot from you. We will share some contents with you. It's not a lecture, so it is very important that you understand that you are involved first, as first actors in this seminar. You will talk to yourself, and it's not about, a lecture, just theory. No, we will share with you concepts that you have them to try to apply to yourself, asking questions. We will guide you through exercises that we will do together. Silvia will lead you through exercises in order to find nice answers about yourselves, about your lives, and all these things will be very useful once you go out to help whoever is around you and to give a nice and effective support during your private life and during your job, the daily hours you dedicate as an operator. Silvia.
So, we are from Italy, okay? So do you know any word in Italian? No.
It's a good word.
Stiamo? That's why I love you. Fantastic. We learned one word in Filipino is salamat, you know?
Yeah.
So we are happy to learn more words. So please, because we are sharing, right? So we will say buongiorno, means good morning. So Federica and I also, we are also happy moms. So each one of us has two daughters, 5 and 7, Nicole and Michelle. And Federica as well, same age, 2 daughters, so we are also mothers. And we wanted to share with you this because we are humans. We are not just here coming from a company and wanting to teach you.
To give up and learn this. So this first question means all these other questions I just read, but please score just the first one, from 0 to 10. How am I ready eventually to spend money, for me to change, eventually to sacrifice? So give a score, 0 to 10, and write it down. Please, all the exercises we will do together today should be written down, because it's just by writing that you fix the things you want to do, okay? Record it. It's like, I don't like, and I will not give that much importance to the smell of the fresh baked bread. I can distort. It means that, this is bread with nuts. Who's saying it's with nuts? It's maybe without nuts. I'm distorting. I'm trying to give, another meaning to this smell. Or I can generalize and say, wow, this smell is the smell you smell in all the bakery shop in the world. Is it too much as a sentence? Because maybe in this street there are 2 bakeries, and in one bakery the smell is different from the other. So when I say this smell is the same all over the world, I am generalizing. So in this block, what I'm doing is giving a meaning that to that specific situation. That exactly is a meaning coming from what? From my own self. And who am I? I'm someone that is conditioned by my past experiences, someone that is conditioned by my story, someone that is in general conditioned. So maybe when I say, I don't want this smell, I don't like this smell, is because when I was a baby I ate a bad piece of bread, and since that moment I'm not eating bread anymore, you know? And so from that point on in my life, bread is out. So it's my story that is giving a meaning to that specific smell. And so I have the power unconsciously to remove it and not to solve the problem, because bread is healthy, it's very tasteful, but you know, I don't want to eat it anymore. So as I'm giving a meaning, I am attaching to this meaning a feeling, because I don't like the bread, I don't like the smell, I am disgusted, and I'm not feeling nicely. So I'm giving a feeling to it. And as I'm giving a feeling of disgust, I will not smile. My physiology, my face will be like this instead of like this. If I, for instance, think to an ice cream that I like, I will say, wow, I taste this ice cream, it's the best in the world, and I will attach a feeling of smile, you know? So the feelings I will attach will create my state inside, my feelings, and this will create my behavior. So I will be nervous because of this smell, I will be, you know, not comfortable, and my behavior will be nervous and not nice, maybe with the people I'm around with, because I would say, let's go, I don't want to stay here, this is too much, I don't like this smell. Oh my God, you're exaggerating. Anyway, my behavior will lead my result. So hold this example of the bread, which is very basic as an example, actually wants to say that my results will be that I won't be nice towards the people I'm around just because the smell of the bread, which recalled me a bad, unconsciously a bad experience, which gave me bad feelings, which gave me a bad physiology, which gave me a bad reaction towards the people around me. And the result is that people will say, but why, Federica, are you always behaving like this? You are always that nervous. Why? And maybe I'm the nicest person ever, every day, you know? So, the importance of this slide for you and for the people you will help is that if you want to change your results, you have to change yourself. If you want to behave in a certain way, you have to be aware of what's going on, because the awareness is the only way you have to eventually correct yourself, going backwards and say, okay, starting from now, if this smells kidney through the nose, I know that I don't like it, but I will be composed, control myself, and say, guys, sorry, could we please move, because I don't like staying here, you know, it gives me a headache. It's different, right? Is it? It's much nicer. I will achieve my own results in a different way. To the awareness of what's going on and how the results has to be achieved in order eventually to make a change. Okay? Is there any question?
We play a game, okay? So to see if you understand. The power of our minds in the creation of the reality around you. About the deletion, distortion, and generalization, okay? So now I ask you to look around you and find the person that has a red t-shirt. Something red, not necessarily t-shirt, can be something. Just look around and just remember how many are these people wearing something red. Just look around you. Yeah? Okay? Just in your mind, say, okay, this was the okay? Now, I ask you to close your eyes and remember the person who has a white t-shirt.
Close your eyes.
What happened? What happened? You know, I can see a few of them. What happened? What happened? That your mind was so focused on looking for something red that all the rest was just deleted, right? You can open your eyes now because otherwise you fall asleep. Yeah? Isn't it powerful?
Yes.
This means that our mind was focusing on finding the red. That's so much that everything else just disappeared. And if we want to say, so this disappeared, so deleted and distorted, because your reality is actually not anymore the reality that you can see when your eyes are open, right? It's different. And generalization. I could say, from my point of view, that everybody in the Philippines like yellow, because I see so many people with yellow, right? You like yellow? You see, this is generalization. I will come back to Dubai. I say, you know, there's so many people wearing yellow t-shirts in the Philippines. Okay, guys, this is very important because this is exactly what happens to your mind. And it's very important. You are creating your own reality depending on what you're focusing on, right? Yeah? You feel energized now that you did a little game?
Okay, so now that we understood that we can actually have an impact on our behavior, we reinforce this concept on how to control your own results. Here you see a C and an E. This is the cause and effect slide paradigm. This means that if you decide to be in control, to be on the C side, you will be empowered. And if you don't want to be in control, if you are out of control, you'll be on the effect side. You will be on the E. I will explain you that. I know that it's, I see from your side what's going on. We will see it now. With an example, okay? For instance, in everyday life, for instance, it's very, in the offices, in an office job, it's very frequent that among colleagues you share stories, you share experiences, and generally you share this. Oh, you know, I talked to the boss, I just arrived, I explained it very briefly. He never understands me. I was telling him and he said, okay, Federica, just go, but he did not understand me. I'm so bored. First example. Second example, you know, I gave all the best during this year, but I did not get the bonus. How come? And I'm doing so much. I'm doing all the efforts that I can. And I'm moaning in the first case, in the second case, or the third one. You know, Mama, you always give right to Francesca. Francesca is my sister. You always give right to Francesca and never to me. I'm moaning. Why? Because I'm here. I am the effect of someone else's decision, someone else's behavior, someone else's attention, which is not the one that I want. So my mother is giving always right to my sister. So I am the effect of my mom not giving the right to me. My boss is not able to understand what I want to say, what I want to communicate. It's my boss' fault that it does not understand me. I am an effect of the fact he is not able to understand me. I am an effect of his decision not to give me a prize, not to give me the bonus. And so I am moaning as a victim because someone else, my mom and my boss, they are not treating me like I'm expecting them to treat me. I am on this side, the wrong one. I want you, and please try to understand it, that it's much better to be on the side of the control, of the protagonism. I want to communicate with my boss at my best, okay? So I enter the room, I really consciously do my best. I'm very structured in the way I expose the content. I have the right tone of voice. I have the right attitude. I look himself into the eyes, straight into the eyes to, you know, catch his attention. And I am leading the interaction. I'm doing my best. If he does not understand me, and this is really, please pay attention, this is really about interpreting what is going on. If he does not understand me, it's better not to moan. Why? Because maybe we have to be aware of the fact that maybe I was not that clear enough. Who knows that I'm really clear when I speak? Yeah.
Another victim is I am the effect of my boyfriend leaving me,
Yeah.
or my girlfriend leaving me. And for years and years, I'm moaning and hurting.
Great. We take this example. So, the boyfriend leaves me, or the girlfriend leaves me. We have all, maybe all, passed through this disaster. Is it true? It's a disaster, you know. You feel no earth under your feet anymore. But please, if I was loving him or I was loving her and he or she left me, it's not my fault. We have to be very smart and understand that maybe he was not loving me. She was not loving me anymore, which is a good reason not to mourn, because we have to feel blessed if, because of a lack of love, two people separate.
Can be fulfilled in a different way. Can you imagine, for example, like a mother with a baby, the newborn baby? She feels so important because she had a baby. It's her own baby, right? This gives her significance. So it's not just about power. It's power in the sense of the politicians. It's something that makes you feel important to you. You can buy, for example, a new bag or a new pair of shoes and you want to show them. You feel important, right? Because you have new shoes. Give you significance. Then we said that there are other two needs that are the growth and contribution, that actually these needs happen from a certain point in your life. They do not exist always, but from a certain point of your life, you will feel the need to grow, meaning that you want to learn more, to do more things, and together with the contribution, which is about giving to others, right? You feel at a certain point, in a different level for each one of you, the need of helping other people, to give them, to teach them, to do something for others, and not only for yourself, because the significance is for yourself, just for yourself, which is okay. Each one of us has it. The contribution is for the others. Okay? So, do you have the column? 6 columns? Okay. Now, you can see here, there is this 4. Okay? 0 to 10. So, we are scoring, meaning that this level is 0, and we go up, and we reach the 10. So, here is mid, it's 5. Okay, and here is 10, top. Now, the first exercise, the first question, and I want you to be honest with yourself, okay? And don't think, just go answer. There is not a wrong or right answer, it's about you. Ask yourself, nobody else is around. Forget the lead. Do this exactly. Nobody is around you. Okay, you create your own reality. Nobody is around you in this moment. And I ask you to draw a line, okay? A line, just like this, a line, to answer from 0 to 10, at what level each of these needs must be satisfied for you to be okay. What is your okay level line for each need? Can be here, can be here. Just draw it like this. Yeah? Okay, here is your table. Just draw a line, like this, like this, like this, like this, like this. You know, for each one. So just a line.
Actually, from 0 to 10, you have to position the line at your okay level. For instance, certainty. I think I now with certainty, I am like a 5, more or less. You know, I think that I fulfill my certainty need like a 5. And you draw the first line. Then you do the line for variety, then for love and connection, significance, growth and contribution. Don't think too much. Just ask yourself how love and connection satisfied I am, and draw it fast.
Is it clear? Each of the needs are clear? Raise your hands if they are clear. They're clear? So raise your hands if they're clear. Yeah? So for who is not raising their hand, meaning that you have questions? Darcy, do you think it is clear, the needs? Yes? Okay, are you done?
Yes.
Good. Okay, now, I ask you to indicate which of the which two needs are the most important for you. Just put a little star if you want. Whatever. Can be certainty, love and connection, or variety, significance. Choose the two that are most important to you as individual, yourself, okay? Okay? Now, with a different line, if you don't have a different color, just a different line, just indicate at what level each one of these needs is currently satisfied in your life. Okay? So, you have the okay line because you have drawn it already. Now I ask you to draw a different line, can be like this. For each level, for each need, at what level the need is currently satisfied. Okay? So it can be over the okay line, under the okay line, on the okay line, it's okay. Wherever it is, just draw a new line for each one of them. Yeah?
So it means that if you today are at the certainty level 5, okay, you have to draw the line you consider you will be even more satisfied on that certain need. Okay, your ideal level.
It's okay. The current, at what level is currently satisfied today? Okay? Currently today. Over, under, maybe in your life you have too much certainty and your okay line is under. Yes? Is it done? Okay? So you have the two lines. First one is the ideal one, the okay line. And the second one is what level is currently today in your life satisfied. Okay, now the expectations to write something that you know you can do well in order to achieve a certain result. So we don't talk anymore about the expectations, but we write down 3 little things I know I can do well in order to achieve the result. It's not about what I expect to achieve. It's just about what I can do at my best. And there are little steps.
To achieve, which are your results, which are the goals, which is the attitude you should have towards what you want to achieve. Try to feel the emotions that if you achieve that goal you will have, you will feel. Try really to think why you want to open a beauty salon, because maybe it's just because someone suggested it to you, but it's not something that it really satisfies you. And as long as it's not 100% satisfying you, you will not be that successful, because the passion, the why will lack. Who acts immediately is not considering all these things. Your mind won't be foggy. Your mind will be really clearly focused and aware of what is going on. Now we step into the second domain of the composure and the focus. So, first of all, I want to ask you,
you will feel maybe sad, you will feel anxious, you feel stressed, but it is in your control to decide, okay, if I feel stressed and anxious, this will not help me to solve the problem of sending the email. So you need to be in a peak performance, try, despite the problems, and calm down and say, what can I do? I will call maybe my colleague, because you are, in that moment you are, stress is not there, so you can think clearly. I call my colleague, I explain what's the problem, and he will help you. Is that right? So, in any occasion in our life, there are things that are not in our control, because things that other people think of us or other things that people do to us. But it's in our control the way we decide to react. Right? We can stay down forever or react. And this is something that you only can do. Whatever is the problem. Whatever is the problem. Otherwise, you will keep in not the resource state, not in the peak performance. You will not achieve the result because you will keep thinking of the problem and feeling sad, feeling angry. It's very important. You have the power to react. Yes, is it clear? Does it make sense? Yes? Okay? So, whatever you wrote within your control and outside your control is just to let you understand there are things that you can control and things that
a specific situation that creates a bit of anxiety, or that is a situation in which we struggle a bit, or we have a bad reaction once in the situation. Actually, there is a technique which is called the 3R technique, which is, I would say, a very effective way to understand in that specific moment you are out of control, how to put yourself again in peak performance mode. The 3R technique is called like this because the 3 actions you should do are recognize, regroup, and refocus. So 3 actions started with the R. The recognizing part is the most important one, because in the moment, in that moment in which you realize that you are getting nervous, getting anxious, reacting in the bad way, only if you realize, you recognize it, you can correct it. We have already shared this concept in the morning and in the slide before. So it means you should be aware. For instance, if you start arguing with your boyfriend that just left you, you could walk for kilometers rehearsing the story in your mind, feeling whatever, maybe feeling again angry because there was a fight, right? And you can actually feel it. You can recreate every single moment in your mind again and again and again. You know, sometimes we need to be present, not to be somewhere else. We need to be on the piece. We need to be focused on what you are doing to give the best of yourself, maybe at work, to a person, or talking to somebody, actually listening to what's the problem and not thinking about something else while the person is talking to you. So the first step is actually the fact that you recognize is to be aware of what's happening inside your head. And this is the first step to get even more powerful, because the moment you recognize, you will say, okay, wait a second, just pinch yourself and say, wait, this is not the right moment to think about my girlfriend. I need to be focused, okay? Right? You pinch yourself. So first you recognize that you are going somewhere else, your mind is stuck on something else. Then you tell yourself, okay, this is not the right moment, refocus. Whatever you can slap on your face. Refocus, regroup, sorry.
regroup and say, okay, let's go. In this moment is not important. And refocus. And this is for people who are coming. I'm sure that they have issue to solve. So sometimes it's very difficult, maybe in their life, to be always on the peace, always with the mind clear, because there are things happening around them, right? But what can you teach them? What can you teach the people who want to start a business? If they keep in their mind thinking about all the problems, when they have to do something important, maybe they will have their first client in front of them to start a business. If they keep thinking about the problem, they will not be resourceful and focus on taking care of the client. Like Rubina yesterday was sharing with us a very nice thing. She told us that her focus, whenever a client comes to her to do the manicure, is the focus is to make this person happy. This is her focus. And this is the only way. She forgets, I'm sure that she has many problems, you know, maybe the kids are sick or whatever in that moment, somebody, but if she would in that moment think about negative, she wouldn't transmit the happiness to the person who is coming for a manicure and enjoy that moment. And she wouldn't be successful by only being focused on what she's doing, because the rest maybe is not in her control, right? Maybe her children has fever. In that moment is not in her control, but what is in her control is focus on what she's doing, because whenever the moment she can, she will go and attend it. But that moment she needs to be there, gain money, treat the customers to the customer, the client will come back and give more money, and the business is growing. Because maybe this client will talk to a friend and say, oh, I had an amazing manicure with Rubina, and this person will go to her. So she has to be resourceful and keep the happy mindset. So it's very important to get the awareness first and be able to refocus. It's an exercise. It's a mind training. When you need to go to the gym, you don't expect to go there once to be fit, right? Say, whoa! No, it doesn't happen like this. You need to keep going, repeat, one day, second day, and you exercise and your muscle grows. It's not like that. So the same is with the brain. And you keep exercising the awareness so that you are more trained and you are faster, you can refocus whenever you are not resourceful. Okay? So, I ask you to do this exercise and think about one situation that bothers you. Like something that, whatever, it could be in your life, in your personal life, in your relationship, in your job. A situation that when it happens, certain situation, you know that you are going out of control. We have examples here. For example, I'm sure that it doesn't happen, but maybe like your boss is yelling at you, you know, and you feel like you did something wrong. You feel that you are failed in what you were supposed to do because you had an expectation. I don't know, any situation. So I would like you to do this exercise to see how you would do, how you would apply the 3 steps. Okay? Would you do that? Yes. Yeah? Okay. Then if anybody wants, like Jill, for example, you want to share with us an example. Yeah? You want to share? Besides, is there anybody who wants to share something, an example? Okay.
So which is a situation where you realize a situation, of course, that happens quite often, that you realize you go out of control and you would like to learn to control. Is it something that bothers you, something that, I don't know, makes you feel uncomfortable, nervous or sad, that is really involving you so much from an emotional point of view that you lose actually the compass, your personal compass. So you would like to learn to regroup and refocus. If you recognize it, next time it will be different, I assure you.
Is there anybody who argues sometimes with your mom? Are you always happy with your mom, or do you argue sometimes? No? Usually, what happens, you know, I call mama on the phone and say, hi mommy, and we start talking. If she tells a comment, you should have done this, I say, you always tell me the same thing, you know, and that's what happens to the conversation, that it goes, you keep arguing and say, okay, ciao, we talk. Because it happens everywhere in the world, I'm sure. You don't want to hear things from your mom, right? But sometimes, after a while, maybe you are angry because she always tells me what I have to do when I'm old enough to choose by myself, right? But then after a while, you actually maybe feel sorry because, okay, I know my mom loves me and she just wanted to say something. And then you feel that, oh, it's a pity she's far away from me and I just replied in a bad way, you know, and then you feel sorry. So, what you can do, the next time you're calling your mom, you can apply the 3R. So, the moment you recognize that you are going to, you need to tell her that, you feel the anger coming, you just let it go, let her talk. Yes, mommy, you are right, absolutely, I will follow your instruction. You are always the best mom, I love you so much, no matter what. So, you are letting it go and refocusing maybe on something more important, you know, knowing something about her, and sure, making her happy that you called her. Wouldn't be great? Just to start with, yeah? This is just an example that you can apply in everything. Yes?
Siguro mga kapatid, pwede namang Tagalog. Tapos for me and even myself, we can translate it in English. But then again, my comment is, if we are going to do this, this needs practice. This is practice, and eventually, when you are mastered with it, so I guess there's near to perfection in terms of mastery, in terms of the peak performance, the arousal, and the performance and the composure. So really is day-to-day practice in our daily transactions, and even in our relationships with others, because it's really it needs a lot of control, and you need to a little bit weighing yourself on your mind that, oops, am I going to say this? Or you need to manage it. So it depends on us. If our goal is to have a good relationship with others, so we can, and if we decide to have a problem with others, so even your statement, you cannot control it, and you need to speak it negatively. So constructive, a way of a gently correction on terms of the language that you are going to use, it's really a practice.
actually, this is very important, what Ness underlined, the practice. You cannot get muscled if you don't exercise. You cannot learn how to be in control if you do not exercise. This exercise, you know, we are coaches, we teach these things, but we get nervous. The only thing is that we get nervous, we stop, we realize that we are getting nervous, and this might affect negatively what we are going to do. And so we apply this technique and we are present and rational again. It does not mean that you will be another person, that you won't be sincere in the way you can be. It means that you will actually manage those feelings, those negative feelings that are actually putting you in a non-resourceful state. And this is not just about relations. Sylvia did a very important examples, because generally, as we are a society, and within the society we are so many different people, heads, souls, thoughts, and as we do interact, we are often unsatisfied of how the interactions are going among ourselves, what the people are saying, how they are reacting, how I am reacting. But it's not just about the relations. It is, for instance, also in the job. So how many times, for instance, you have, for instance, myself, I had to prepare this document, okay? And I had to build this chart. I was using PowerPoint. Generally, I'm very precise in using PowerPoint, so I already know that if I'm doing a chart and I want it to be perfect, and it's not, you know, coming as I want, I will get nervous. So this is a technical contest in which my anxiety, my bad reaction towards a slide, towards a composition of a, you know, a chart, can affect the whole presentation. Because if I get nervous and I have to draw other charts, I will not be that calm, and, you know, maybe my hand will start trembling, and lines will never come straight. This line, when you trace the line, you can give angles. So if your hand is not steady, it won't come straight. So what do I have to do in the moment in which I'm not able to finalize the chart? Either I recognize, either I stand up and have a break. So I'm telling to myself, Federica, calm down, because, you know, tomorrow you are leaving to the Philippines and the presentation is not yet done. You have not that much time available, so take a rest. Maybe you're tired, but my focus is the presentation, completing the presentation, achieving my very short-term goal, which is having my presentation, my document, ready, available for tomorrow for meeting the ASHI people. I can ask to Sylvia, to someone else, to do it. I said, Sylvia, sorry, this presentation is stressing me so much, you know, graphic-wise, that I cannot anymore. Or I can decide to continue and being even more nervous and not finishing it, which is the best solution, is achieving my result, is finishing the presentation. So either I have to go for a break or for Sylvia's help, these are the two positive options I have. Otherwise, I will not perform on my peak level. So we saw relations, we saw job-wise, it can be in every situation. For instance, if you enter a shop and I don't know, you want to change I don't know, a t-shirt, and you ask in a certain way, can I have that t-shirt? And what's going on? The clerk will answer you, we don't have. And from this answer, you get nervous because you think that she does not want to go in the stock and check if there is maybe the last XS you asked for. What will you do? You can start arguing, but here you are never that kind. In this shop you are always. Second, you can say, I understand, can you make an extra effort please and go in the back in the stock to see if there is the last size of my t-shirt. This, if you get nervous, for sure she will never help you, never. So you will not reach your goal, which is buying the excess of that specific t-shirt. Or you can try to recognize that you got nervous because of a reaction, take a breath and say, can you please do an extra check in the back? So this is practicing this exercise.
The door, and my driver picks it up and brings it to the car. So remember, we had a staff conference, and that would take me over a week out of the house. I think I left the house at 3 o'clock in the morning. And by the time I got to the airport, the drivers asked me, Mom, where is your luggage? I couldn't believe it. Because we already have that ritual. He picks it up. I don't have to tell him anything. So my first reaction was, I wanted to kill him. Can you imagine not having anything for over a week? I really wanted to kill, I wanted to go out his throat and really... But then, how did I refocus? One conscious breath. I took a deep breath, conscious. This was taught to me by a nun. One conscious breath, I took a deep breath, and my brain cleared. And it occurred to me, I don't think anybody will really decide to forget, right? Do you plan to forget? I don't think he forgot him consciously, I mean intentionally. I don't think, do you think he forgot intentionally? Nobody does that. And then I said, what should I get angry with him? I will lose my beauty. Very ugly, you look so ugly when you're angry. So I just looked at him and I said, well, that's so, okay. And I kept my beauty. So when you're in a situation like that, really, if I killed him, or if I said nasty things, you say nasty things. Before I got married, my father told me, if you want to say nasty things to your husband, you will go take a shower. Because he said, if you say nasty things, the energy is always there, will not disappear. So if you say nasty things to people, it will always be there in their minds, imprinted. So think about it first. That's what I'm saying, really You take a deep breath.
that you do, or the recent ones you remember. Think about the way you reacted to that mistake. And think about the way you would have liked it to react. But imagine future time, I don't know, you need to communicate with somebody. You know very well that this person scares you for a reason, because it's yelling at you, or so you know already that if this person is talking to you with a loud voice, usually you get scared and you cannot say something, or on the other hand you will scream back. And think about a new way to react. Try to do this exercise for one thing that is bothering you. Do it now. Write it down. One situation, one mistake, one situation where you know that you react in a way that is not the right one. Like Percy gave us before a very nice example of that. Her reaction would have been to kill the driver. The new reaction was actually to breathe and say, okay, it's fine. It's not the end of the world. Still I have my objective and I will do the best I can with the resources I have, right? So the mistake, the old reaction and the new reaction. And for you it's difficult to remind the new reaction, just imagine, close your eyes and imagine how you would like to do or feel instead. It's important. Remember the feelings and thinking part are so much connected. So just close your eyes and think, how would I like to feel instead? Instead of feeling hurt if somebody is telling me something, how would I like to feel? Try to do this. Because this makes you very powerful. You are ready to face any situation. Is it clear? Is there any situation that you would like to share? Any situation? Somebody talking to you in a bad way, or some mistake, or whatever. Just a little effort, because there will be a break soon, so you can do it.
Now, my new reaction is pray for him and be safe and be thankful for focusing and on driving. So,
Thank you for sharing. So you know how to do resources. That's good. I need it.
So I remember when I was small, I was always trying to my mother that I go to school, but I am cutting classes. But when always is I'm angry because my mother told me. But my new reaction is now when I am already mature, I learn how to control my emotions, not to argue with my mother, and learn my mistakes, and improve my personality.
Hello. English ba? Well, my experience is one of my staff always submit incomplete and late submission of the proposal. So my own reaction is I just call attention to you and then because it's always doing that. So there was a time that I make a high voice for them. For him. Shout! Yeah. Then, after we discuss it for all of us, so I reflect that discuss the right way of on how to assess the loan proposal for my staff. So that's all.
Yeah, this experience was happened, I think 2 days ago. Yeah, when I shouted my sister, because my mother asked her to do something, and it's getting longer and longer. Like, my mother asked her to do it in the morning. It's afternoon, so she didn't do it. So I shout my sister like, "Why you not doing it?" So I got mad. So that's the old reaction. So now I learned from this training that my new reaction would be like just do nothing and just relax.
Ask maybe. Can I help you with that?
Yeah.
Can I help you with that?
So
Thank you.
Can I keep my hesitation and new reaction and old reaction? My situation, one time, old man angry because he drank alcohol. And new reaction, repeating. And old reaction, running goes around.
Tapos, nagalit ako sa tao na yun. Pero, yun yung reaction ko. Pero yung reaction ko naman ay, ano nila, kabahan yung pasensya. Pag panalangin na lang sa akin, hindi mangyayari sa inyo na yung nangyari sa akin.
Let's pray. You ready?
Of the person in front of you. If you have someone in front of you who is scared, you cannot go and say, "Hey, hi, what do you want from me? Well, how can I help you?" You will scare the person even more, and you will not get the click to start an effective communication, because actually you are not understanding that he is very much scared. So a nice approach is the approach that make himself feeling comfortable in order to start sharing his fears, his worries, sorrows, his problems, his kind of needs he wants from you, the kinds of help he wants from you. So it's first of all understanding the emotion, understanding the whys of the person, understanding the intention of the person, where he wants to go, what he wants to achieve, the whys. Because if you understand the intention, you can drive your words in favor to his goal. Otherwise, you will talk about pears and he's meaning apples in his head, You will talk about two different things. It is about, if you catch the first two things, creating a connection that has to actually keep alive the interest from both sides to what is going on. So what I'm telling to you has to sound interesting as much as what you're telling to me has. This is very important, and in your everyday life, in your job, this is very much important. You really have to get it, what the person wants to tell you, how the person is feeling, how you can help her or him. You know, these are very important moments that should be, I would say, saved immediately. In a relation, there are the first moments, the ones that are either bonding or not bonding a person. And of course, we would see that there are other factors impacting on how these first moments are used and are influenced by. I don't know why it doesn't go down. Obstacles do you find while communicating? Or if you don't find them personally, what are the ones you think can affect it? Yeah.
I think if we are lack of communication skills, lack of communication skills, to express what or what going to advise. Then the big factor, one big factor is the self-confidence. Kasi hindi mo nga naman ganito pakita yung matuturuan kung sino yung tuturuan mo hindi nakikita yun sa'yo.
Siguro sa akin yung isa sa obstacle. Ano sa obstacle? Like for example, kanina, di ba, yung halos lahat nakatumangalan kami lahat. Kasi takot kami, we are afraid to speak English. So, that's one of the obstacle na nahihirapan kami ng makunin talaga. So, it's not so hard for us to connect. Di ba yung kanina, halos lahat talaga tahimik, nakatumangalan, na nakatingin lang po sa inyong dalawa. We look of you. We're just looking because of the yung language na baka magkamali. Natatakot kasi tayo magkamali talaga eh. We are afraid of making a mistake when speaking. So
The reaction?
Yeah.
Is it only the reaction? Your reaction? Your reaction.
No.
Your reaction is the worst reaction.
No. That's a good reaction. But now, we're not afraid already. We understand you, but no. Just speak and spread the good.
Produce the feedback to the person we're trying to communicate for. So that's all.
For example, well, we are doing our actual center meeting, and there are plenty of nanays, numbering 40 to 50 nanays or the members. So we are lacking of focus when listening to them because there are lots of work that we're doing, like for example, computing the savings and attendance or doing SDP. So yung focus are yun talaga yung mas malaking factor na una, yung weak factors na is lack of focus.
Additional, and also the jargons or the language we use, because sometimes the words we're using is not accurate for the term or a specific action we need to express. So siguro, sometimes the words we are using is also a weak or the factor that affects the communication.
Thank you. These are all great inputs you gave us. Do you want to add anything else?
Primarily hinders us to, all of us, to express our thoughts and ideas. Because not all of us here can speak English fluently. And another factor for me is simple interaction.
Stop.
Yes. So, simple interaction. So every person has a symbol. For example, you has a symbol of being a facilitator in the seminar. So another example is there is a symbol of being a boss, being a president of Hashi. So every time we have a conversation with them, sometimes we bring ourselves as inferior to them. So it's hard for us to express our thoughts and ideas in front of them, for us being having a fear of being rejected, something like that.
So thank you. The judgment, secondly. So we have to get rid of these two things because we are talking to ourselves nicely. If you are here, if you are all part of the team, it's because you can do it. You are able to do it. If there is something that you might improve or fine-tune, you can ask help to your colleagues, to whoever is in the organization that can make you feel comfortable, more self-confident on what you should say. About the language, the fact that you are not fluent in English, first of all, is not a problem, because for communicating, you can just express yourself even with the wrong grammar. The other part will understand you. You know, in Italy, we speak a lot with our hands, and in general in Italy, people do not speak English, they speak Italian. But when the tourists arrive, we are always able to let ourselves understand from the others, because we help ourselves with the hands, with a smile, with a feeling, creating any way an interaction. First. Second, it's something, the language, that you can always improve. We are open to learn. You can improve either going to a course. If you have no time, you can improve it like watching movies. You can improve it like not feeling the fear and exposing yourself to, you know, with something said in English. Just let go of perfectionism. We don't need, we're not a professor of English at university that we need to be impeccable on our grammar. I do a lot of mistakes when I speak English, but I'm doing the seminar. Are you understanding what I want to pass to give to you in terms of contents? I do all my best, and if I make some mistakes, it does not affect the content on which I'm here for, you know. So, said that, the first reason why we do not communicate effectively is because we have the fear, we are out of control, and once you have the fear of talking in front of someone, or going to your boss, or going to, I don't know, boyfriend and say, listen, I decided I don't want to stay with you anymore, which is also a courageous thing. If you are not on the peak point of your performance, because you are not in a resourceful state, you're not confident with your rational part, you will not know even what you are saying. When you are very anxious, you are just putting together words, but you're not controlling all the structure of the speech that you want to develop. You are not in control. So the first way of communicating in a nice way is not feeling stressed, is feeling composed, feeling in control. If you keep this, you know where you're going to. You know how to keep the focus. So if you have a lack of focus, the communication won't end with a so what we are going to do next. Generally, in a meeting of being judged, but you're focusing on what you want to say to us, right? What you want to share with the others. Yeah, so well done. You have to be proud of yourself. Recognize it. And say, wow, I did well, I could say something, I could interact. Well done. Remind yourself that. So, all the definition of networking are correct, the ones you gave, all the definitions. Actually, you know, this networking word comes originally from the computer word, because networking is the act of linking two computers together to share information, right? It's a sharing of information. So the same thing has happened with the networking, to share information by linking the computer. Is that actually happening in the networking? Because you actually build up relationship with the other people, right, to share information. And what is most important, that in order to have an effective and good network, you need to work also on maintaining this information, maintaining this relation, right? Because it's not just enough to talk to a person to create a network. You also need to maintain a relation. Like imagine with a client, right, or with other people working in the business. You need, in order to create a business, you maintain the relationship with this person and calling this person once in a while, you know, how is it going? So it's very important, and there is an element that is important in this definition as well, because when you talk about relationship, there is also a kind of engagement with the person, okay? So in order for the other person to remember you, you need to create the rapport, which was a great definition that you gave. So, what happened? Why is so important in networking? And I'm sure that to all your members, this is something that you want to share with them, because business, you know, is based on the networking, your ability to create business relationship with others. So, what do you have to do in order to create and to act in the networking effectively? You have to be ready to connect and interact with people, right? If you are in a situation and you meet there are different people, if you just say like this and don't say anything, you're not going to connect and interact with people, and you're not going to discover actually there will be business opportunities there, because you need to discover it, explore, right? This happens only if you communicate and interact with this person. And in order to make it effective networking, whenever you have an occasion, maybe there are gatherings, I don't know if there are fairs, sometimes, when you have possibility to meet people who are selling other products, there might be synergies
you can do something, they can do something. You need to have a very clear plan, a goal in your mind. It's not just about, because you know what you want, right? To make it, if you have to sell some product, you know exactly in your mind what you want to achieve, so you know what you need. You should know at least, you should have a clear plan. So your antennas in the brain are raised, like before we did, right? You were looking for the red t-shirt, so your mind was all focused on finding the red t-shirt, and then I asked you to find the white one, which was not in the focus. But if you're focused on finding what you need, your antennas in the brain will be active. So you will look for the right person, the person who will actually help you make your business more successful, okay? So you actually, by having a plan, you have to define a networking strategy. So what is important to know about networking? It's important that since you're going to interact and communicate with people, you should know that people are different. Not everybody thinks in the same way. Not everybody perceives the information in the same way. So this is a lot of information here, but do you understand that there are people that are more extrovert and people are more introvert? Do you know what does it mean? So a person who is extrovert is easygoing, just likes to interact, knows, is just open, right? Interact easily with others. An introvert person needs to think first, a little bit, and then interact in his own way. So it's not good or bad. We're not saying this part is good and that part is bad. It's just a way how people are. A person is more reserved, meaning that they don't really want to share everything, and other people are more easygoing and they want to talk, and they like actually to be in front of people. It's just a way of being. So you need to keep in mind that different people communicate in different ways. And it's not only about the way they interact with you, but the way they actually perceive the information. Some people are more logical, so they need to, okay, step number 1, step number 2, so they have a process. And other people are more intuitive, so they just take a general understanding of the situation. They don't need to be told in like steps. It's just a way of being and processing your thoughts and your emotions. Okay? So this is just for you to bear in mind. And when you are networking, you have to be ready to face different people, because if you are very extrovert, you go and say, hey, hello. Maybe the person in front of you is not that much extrovert and he is introvert. So by doing that, you're not helping the communication, you're actually scary. Say, oh, I don't want to talk to you. Okay? So what happens? If you don't get sensitive to that, you might not be effective in your networking strategy. So the thing is, you have to study the person in front of you in a way. Try to understand how to communicate in the most effective way. How? Whatever you will bring home today will be implemented starting from tomorrow. And we are done for today. It was for sure our pleasure to share this time with you. We thank you very much, and we wish you good luck. And see you maybe another time. Next time, I give you the mic, Silvia, so you can. Again, we're very, very thankful and grateful that you're here and you made the effort of being here to listen to us. We know that there are a lot of information. Thank you for your participation. Thank you for playing and using your self-confidence. You did great. Be proud of yourself. You can make a difference. You can change yourself. You can make a change in the world if you want to.
Federica for being with us. It's a very special treat. And I hope we will all learn how to manage our emotions and control ourselves. Because as we learned today, the only thing we can control is ourselves. So good luck and have a nice trip.
Let us request Era for our closing prayer.